Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on all of my August reads. And then at the very end, I'm also going to be doing like what I plan to read in September. This month I did not do a designated video for that just because I don't think I have very much. And a lot of it is going to be like rollover from August. So I didn't want to do like pretty much the same video. So I just added it onto this one. So if you want to see what I read during the month of August and then what my September reading plans are, just keep watching. So the first one I have is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This one is about two best friends, Poppy and Alex, who go on like summer trips together. One trip ends up changing things between them and they don't talk, like really talk for 2 years. Poppy eventually decides to ask Alex on like one last vacation to kind of restore their friendship. I enjoyed hearing all about the vacation spots they traveled to. I thought Poppy and Alex were adorable characters. Overall, I gave it a 4-star. It was a fun summer read. There is some steaminess in this book, and it is like friends to lovers and dual timeline because it goes from like the current where they're on this vacation and then it goes into the past into like vacations that they did years prior. Anyways, I thought this was a great summer read. Definitely check this one out. Next one I have is Crimes of Passion by Jack Harbin. This one is an Audible original, so I listened to it on audiobook. And so this one is about like two rival podcast hosts, and they kind of have to come together to do a few like podcast shows. I did enjoy the banter between Emery and Calvin. It is a male hate to love romance, and I really liked the podcast element. I enjoyed hearing about that and kind of, you know, listening to it. I like that element of the story. Overall, I did give it a 4-star. I definitely would recommend this one. So the third one I read this month is Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese. And this one is about Ryder and Willa. They are doing like, they're in like a college course together. And Willa ends up being late because she's on a soccer scholarship and her soccer practices run over. She asks the professor for kind of like help in that, and he like directs her to Ryder to get notes. However, Willa doesn't know that Ryder is deaf, and so like she goes up to him and is like, hey, I need these notes, and he like ignores her because obviously he can't hear her. So obviously they get off on the wrong foot, and she kind of thinks that he's rude, but obviously he just has no idea why, because he did not hear her. So it's kind of like they called it like frenemies to lovers. I'd say that's that. They kind of like bicker with each other and kind of like do little pranks with each other to get back at each other, but there's definitely like obviously attraction there. I did enjoy kind of like the exploration of how he communicates, because he hasn't always been deaf. This is kind of fairly recent because of something that happened, and so you kind of get that aspect in the book of like him trying to figure out how he communicates and the best way for him to communicate. I did like that. I also enjoyed the family aspect. So Ryder is like a part of a big family, and so all of his siblings kind of get in the mix, and his mom and his dad. Willa also has like a mom who's really a big part of the book as well. Overall, I did give it a 4-star. I did enjoy the romance, and I did enjoy the book overall. The next one is Riven Night by Devney Perry, and this is the second book in the Clifton Forge series. It is small town marriage of convenience. Also, there is the backdrop of like a motorcycle club. They are disbanded, but you do get like references to that in this book and in the first book as well. So this one is Genevieve and Isaiah's story. They have to get married because of something that happened at the end of the first book. We as a reader don't know what that is. We figure it out as we read along in Riven Night. So this one wraps up the larger plot from book 1. This one I think was definitely more sad just because Genevieve and Isaiah have been through a lot, both of them, you know, together and then even separately, they have gone through some things. Overall, I did give this one a 4-star. It was sweet, and I liked seeing how like Isaiah and Genevieve came together. I did end up also liking seeing the other characters from book 1, and at the end there is a setup for book 3, and I'm excited to get into that one and read it eventually. Next one I also have is also one that's part of a series. I've been on a series kick apparently. So Barbarian Alien by Ruby Dixon is book 2 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. It's kind of like, I guess, would be considered a fantasy romance. So 12 women end up being kidnapped from Earth and by aliens. Their like spaceship crash lands on a different alien planet, and they are like stranded there and are trying to survive. They have to survive on like, it's like a cold wintry planet. So to survive, they have to take like a symbiont. The humans end up calling it a cootie. I feel like Liz is a strong heroine. I liked her stubbornness. She wanted to hunt, but a lot of times women aren't allowed to hunt in this alien species like community, because the women are so scarce in this village. They don't want anything to happen to them. So Liz is kind of annoyed that she can't, but she kind of convinces Rahash, which I really like. I feel like she was just a good match for Rahash. They're both stubborn, which made it like kind of fun. I did end up giving it a 4-star, and I definitely am enjoying the series. The next one I have is One Last Time by Corinne Michaels. It's about Christina, or Chris, who's going through a bad divorce. She has a core group of like female friends that help her back on her feet. One of them ends up getting her a job with a celebrity blog because like her fiance is a well-known celebrity. Her first assignment is with somebody like a famous celebrity named Noah, who is friends with her, with Chris's best friend's fiance. And so of course he's famous and obviously attractive. In their first meeting, she has a little too much wine and like it doesn't go well according to her. Next day, they end up doing like the interview together, and things kind of go from there. I liked that they were like older or more mature couple. Obviously she had been married, and she'd been married for quite some time. So they were like in their like late 30s, early 40s. I liked the kids aspect of the book. I thought that was cute. I did end up listening to this one on audiobook, and there is like obviously tension in the book because she obviously just got out of a divorce and she's not sure that she wants to start a relationship right away. And then there's obviously tension because there's kids involved, and you know, she has an ex-husband and he is making things a little bit difficult for her. So I did like that aspect of the book. I thought it was kind of something new. I haven't read that before, and there is some steaminess in this book, but I thought it was good overall. I ended up giving it a 4-star. The last one I read during the month of August is Bombshell by Sarah McLean. This one obviously is a historical romance. This is about Lady Cicely Talbot, and she has a scandalous reputation because she does go off into rendezvous, but the rendezvous aren't what you think that they are, or they're not what everybody thinks. So Caleb is Cicely's sister's best friend. They kind of own a business together, and so Caleb notices Cicely, but doesn't really want to do anything about it because he has like secrets. Something has happened in his past and he feels like it potentially could affect Cicely, so he doesn't want to go down that path, just to like kind of protect her from his secret. So anyways, obviously that doesn't end up happening. He ends up following her on her late night adventures. to like protect her and oversee like that she's not getting into too much trouble, she's not getting hurt. Overall, I gave it a 4 stars. I liked the action in this book. I also liked the friendship in this book. I enjoyed the female friendships in this book. I definitely want to continue on because I want to see the other women get like their stories. I think that it's set up for the next one, and I think it was Imogen is the next one, and she just seemed like a fun character. So again, overall, this was a 4-star, and I did enjoy it, and I will probably continue on in the series as well. So those were all the books that I read during the month of August. So now I'll kind of give you a brief overview of what I want to read during the month of September. Again, most of it is a rollover because I didn't get to every book that I wanted to last month. First one is, I'm actually in the middle of, and it is The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley. I am enjoying this one. I do like it so far. I'm not very far into it. And I'm reading this one with my sister-in-law, so I'm excited to like kind of discuss it with her, so I can't wait to get through this one. And then the next one is a rollover as well from August. And again, that was Herwick and Marquez by Stacy Reed. I know this is one in a series. I think it's the second one in a series. I enjoyed the first one, want to continue on. Yeah, so this one is about Marianne Fitzwilliam, witty and bookish. Nobody wants to marry her during that time. So she takes things into her own hands and kind of starts a scandal between her and the Marquess of Rothbury. So I can't wait to read this one. It's definitely been on my list of want to read for quite some time, so I definitely want to get to it, which is why I'm rolling it over from September to August, or from August to September. And then last one is actually a new one. I ended up going to the library and seeing a book that I've been interested in for a while, and I figured I would just pick it up from the library, and that one is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I'm pretty sure this is a fantasy one. It's part of the Murderbot Diaries. I assume it's about Murderbot and what happens from there. I'm not sure. I just heard that Murderbot is kind of like sarcastic, and I was here for it. It's pretty short and just something I saw in the library and was like, okay, it's been on my to be read for quite some time, so I'll give it a shot. So that was my September to be read as well. I only had about 3 on it just because I really want to get to those. I want to prioritize those books. Also, if I will probably end up reading more, but I just didn't pick any out. I kind of want to, just play it by ear and see how this month goes. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe if you would like to. I'll just talk to you all later. Bye.